aspects. And when you see a guy who does that, you're like, that's a man.
Honestly, I totally agree, because, I mean, that's definitely something we don't see.
Yeah.
There's some other things. I will be talking. Honestly, all the points y'all are hitting will definitely be kind of talked about.
I'll say like following how they follow God and following Jesus at the same time. They didn't like question it. Well, some did question, but they didn't question as much or like make him second guess himself. They followed.
And I think something like on top of that, the Bible does not say it's wrong to question.
No.
But it is the conclusions. In fact, I think it's great to question. Like,
that means you're paying attention.
Exactly, you're being intentional, and if you're truly like searching God in your questioning, you're gonna come to the answers God wants you. You're gonna come to the truth, and like, I think that's really good. I think that is something like being serious about, like you said, their faith.
Mm-hmm. So going off that faith too, like you were saying, not questioning, but like committed. You know, like committed to your faith, but then also just whatever it is. I mean, like that. You know, if they say they're going to do it, they're in it. They're going to do it. You know, for their faith, for work, for, I mean, big one, the family. I mean, marriage. You know, I mean, not just for married people, but I mean, even single guys. Just like every aspect of your life. I mean, what does your word mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really huge. Is like security. I forgot to offer it. Does anyone want anything to write down on? If you guys want to keep notes at all, you guys do not have to, but if you want to.
I was mistaken. It was actually 1 Corinthians chapter 7.
1 Corinthians. Okay.
Okay, I was about to say.
2 Corinthians.
Yeah.
I was reading that, and I was like, that's Paul's whatever explaining his heart or whatever. No, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 is what I was thinking of, and then he reiterates it in chapter 13.
Okay. So I guess we'll get into it. If y'all, how many of you all have I talked to about the Bible study that I'm starting this fall?
Oh.
Yeah, you've talked to me about it.
Talked to you about it. I think
You've talked about it. Yeah.
Talked about it a little bit. So this fall, probably September-ish, I'll be starting a Bible study. Not sure what night yet, and it'll be. It's not really a Bible study, because not that I'm against Bible studies, but that's not exactly what I think we're looking for. It's going to be like a men's group where we get together. We're going to be starting off by going through this book. This is an excellent book. I was told to read beginning of this year. It's not a huge book. The audiobook's like 5 hours.
I remember you were talking about this.
Yeah, I knocked the whole thing out in like a day. Like it's fairly simple, but it's really deep in diving into the men we need, the men that we're supposed to be, that we're created to be. And so that's kind of like the topic of today. I would love for you guys to join in on this men's group. Specifically, like I've chosen you guys as well as the other guys who missed it, that I think that we could work better together to sharpen each other into the men that God is working on us to be right now. Like right now is the time God's working on us to be better men, and I think it would be a great time. So this is a book. If you guys want to join, I'll be buying you each a copy. So let me know. We'll be starting around mid-September, but excellent book that we'll be talking about. Even if you don't want to join the group, read the book anyways, or listen to it. It's really changed my life a lot in looking at helping pave the road on, hey, what steps should I be taking actively every day, every hour, every minute, like what to set my heart on to affect those around me. So the big thing in the book talked about on, page 29. Actually, let me hop into this first, and then it kind of explains a little bit. So he gets his main model for being a man from Adam, the first man. Adam was the only man who to be in full relationship with God. Full, clean relationship with God. He was also given the baseline of how to be a man. In Genesis 2:15, which I'll look that up really quick. It says, "The Lord took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and keep it." So in this book, the theme on page 29, and the big theme of the book, the key phrase is men are called to be keepers of the garden. That was Adam's job. He was put in the garden and was told to keep the garden. So for Adam, there was both a literal and a theoretical garden. He had trees, he had bushes, he had animals, etc. So he had an actual garden to take care of. There was a physical garden. But he had another kind of garden. He had people like Eve and later his children. These are the types of gardens that us men are to follow. Ephesians 5:22 tells us that man is the head of his wife and thus his family. This is not a power verse. I think this is something confused a lot. This is not a power verse. This is an empowering verse. This is something that tells us, hey, we have power, not in the evil sense, but of the sense of we are trusted. Responsibility. We are trusted to be the head of our family, the head of our garden. So back to the garden, in Romans 5:12, it reminds us that sin entering the world was Adam's fault. It says it was under one man. It was his failure. But why? Genesis 3:6 says, this is where the fall of man happens. It says, "She also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate." So if man is responsible over his garden, his household, his wife, this verse says he was there. Right there, close enough where he could see it and where she could walk over and give him the fruit right there. An enemy entered Adam's garden with the intent to destroy. Adam saw that. He knew the consequences. He knew it was wrong, and he did nothing. He did not keep his garden. And all of humanity pays for that. So here's some things that Brant tells us, writer of the book, are some things that us men need to do to be more like who we are created for as keepers of the garden. The first one is to be alert and to not withhold yourself. So in today's culture, it's really easy to distract yourself and avoid the problem. Just like me getting a girlfriend, you can easily come up with excuses and different things saying you just can't deal with the problem right now.
Just tell us you're gay, Hunter.
Oh.
We still love you.
I'm
sorry.
Not all the time.
Definitely
You said
not.
by getting, what did you say before?
Be alert.
By being alert or getting alert? Or being alert?
To be alert and withhold and don't withhold yourself. So don't distract yourself. Face the reality. Real men don't hide from problems. Ethan, do you remember at John's the other night? Do you remember the story of the In-N-Out, the shooting?
Oh,
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there was a shooting at an In-N-Out, and out in Cali.
Mm.
And so there was, this was last week, and there's this guy who's considered the hero.
Mm-hmm.
This man saw the problem. He was alert. He was aware. He did not withhold himself. He saw the problem, took action. He started shooting. He started taking action. He did not withhold himself or distract himself from the problem. He went right to it. And this is why we have our so-called heroes. These heroes are men who stand up. Our heroes don't avoid the problems. They take it head on. So our second one is show up. This topic in the book pairs with protecting the vulnerable in our garden. This is the huge thing about your garden, protecting the vulnerable. Showing up means actively watching over the vulnerable. So, y'all's garden could be a bunch of different things. For example, Adams College Group is a garden that we're in. It's a garden. There are lots of different little plants and flowers in that garden. There's a lot of vulnerable people. I mean, you could pick anybody. Each person's going through something, and there's an enemy trying to take each one down. Things like that. Things like your immediate family, your parents, your siblings, people like you're dating, girlfriends, friends that you're around, coworkers. These are the gardens. Showing up means presently scanning and being alert for the enemies trying to disrupt your garden. That's what showing up is. The third one is to be ambitious about the right things. Honestly, this is really just spending time on what the Lord has called you to do. What or who has He put in your garden? This is what I want you guys to think about. And I'll give you guys time after to sit and think. But don't let the things of the world distract you from the Lord's purpose in your life. Be ambitious on the right things. Because there's a lot of things in our age that are going to distract us. But if you're following the Lord and what He has for you, there is no other place you would rather be. Because He's got a will and a want for your life. That's for out of His love, for His glory, and for your better. You could get distracted looking for a job, a specific vehicle, a girlfriend, anything, you name it. But I'm sure, I can call on confidence, that God has prepared something for every little worry you have. Whether it's what exactly you want or not exactly what you want. Being ambitious on what He has for you helps you to focus on what you need to be focusing on in your garden, and He will use that to grow your garden through relationships and work and whatever it may be. Number 4 is take action. So this one's a big one. And there's two sides to this coin. This is about actively destroying the attacks that the enemy is throwing at your garden. On one side of the coin, you got to look at yourself. Have self-control and be disciplined. In order to be a keeper of the garden, you have to prove that you are capable of keeping it. This is very important. Your garden should not fear you. Your garden should trust you. Your garden will know this through your character and your actions. Your friends, your family, your church, your job, they will come to know and trust and love you based on you, based on your actions and how you hold yourself. You have to take the initiative to love, care, unite, protect, spend time, and seek the well-being of your garden. And your garden will notice. They will love and continue to follow you. The other side of this coin is taking action against the enemy's attack. Here's the big thing. Don't be like Adam. And just be there and do nothing. This is the worst thing that you guys can do, is to be there, see, know, and do nothing. Be faithful with your garden and protect the vulnerable in it. Number 5, seize the day. Have any of y'all seen Dead Poets Society?
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem. Y'all know Carpe diem?
I watched it in like high school.
Okay.
Good movie.
The big thing, dude, it's a great movie. One of my top favorites, I think. So today is the day for change. Right now. I mentioned this earlier. Change happens immediately. You do not want to push it off, because guess what? Every day you can take a bad habit. Every day you give Satan is another step that he gets. That's another link in the chain that he's tightening on you. We are like pottery being formed. And every minute counts, because we are actively hardening. And God wants to mold us. He wants to mold us into, as 2 Timothy 2:15-16 says, he wants to prepare us to be great vessels for use. I do recommend reading that chapter. It's a great chapter.
You said 2 Timothy
2:15-26. In the wise words of Sensei Wu, never put off until tomorrow what can be done today. That is the facts. The change starts now. You got a bad habit? Quit it now. You need to start a good habit? Start it now, because now is the time for change. Keeping your garden has to start somewhere. And why would you want your garden to suffer another day? I think that's the question to ask. Number 6 is men take care of themselves. This is something we're going to dive in tomorrow's session. Pretty excited for that. But this is something I'm currently learning to do, is take care of myself. My friend Tyler Martone, I don't think any of you guys would know him. He's...
Sorry.
No, you're good. Really good friend of mine. I've known him for a little bit. I think he's a lot older than me, but he's been a bit of a mentor. And he reminded me when I was at camp, I was kind of going through something here back at home while I was down in Anderson. And he reminded me, the rule is you have to take care of and give yourself oxygen before helping someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rule. That's what they tell you on the flights. Don't just follow someone else. Don't just listen to the sermon or the Bible study. Own your walk. Take care of yourself before taking care of someone else. Because you can't take care of someone else. You can't tend your garden unless you're doing well. And also, I think this is something really important. Honestly, I kind of want to write this down and put it on a poster. If you don't take action to let the Lord work on and through you, it will not happen. It will not happen if you don't let it happen. Either, if you're with the Lord, either you're going to let him, like Jonah, either you're going to let him, or he's going to put you through some rough waters and the inside of a whale. This is where being a man starts. This concept, it's not even a concept. This is just how it is. This is how it started in the garden. Being a man, as Adam was, started with a relationship with the Lord in the garden. That's where it all began. Man was formed from dust and was with relationship with God before anything else. And the Lord, from that, led Adam onto what he should and should not do. The Lord told and showed Adam how to take care of his garden. But it all started with the Lord. Those are the 6 things that this book talks about. But now I'd like to go a little deeper into some ways that the Bible shows us how to be men. Do you guys have any thoughts or questions? I would love to hear. Just so far on what's been talked about.
And each of those points is what the book talks about.
Yes.
That's cool.
So it's pretty in depth, like how he talks about him, but those are like the
Summary.
6. I'm trying to remember what he calls them.
It's like, that's not even chapters. No, don't look at
Decisions.
Decisions. Okay.
These are the 6 decisions that will set you apart.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Okay.
kind of the big theme. All right, so I'm going to start with Moses and go to Guy. Moses was a weak man who did not want to do as the Lord asked. But, do you need a sweatshirt or a blanket?
I'm good.
I mean, you go for it. Like,
No, after that fan like speeds.
dude, that
up,
fan is
it slows
insane.
down, it speeds up again. That's what it was.
Last
I
night I
was
just
staring
pressed the
at
button,
it.
and I was like sitting there and I was falling asleep. I was like, what's wrong with
I
this
know.
fan?
I know. I'm like, why is it pulsing?
Yeah, you might hear the pulse mic. I wonder if it's supposed to do that or not.
I didn't even know it did it
all last
till
night,
last
so
night.
I don't know.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
It's
I just like to keep the flow of the
Yeah.
the room.
mm-hmm. It's nice, honestly.
No, Moses.
Moses, you're good. You're good. He didn't want to do as the Lord asked, but he became Israel's greatest leader. A specific story, which I'll touch on, in Exodus 2:11 through 12. Moses, as a young man, sees the abuse of his people. He sees the abuse of one of his, family, you could say. One of the Jews in Egypt. Y'all remember what he does?
Kills the guy. That's
Kills him.
punishment.
He takes him out. Moses saw the abuse of his people. He stood up and took action. He was there, he saw, and he acted upon. He also continued from there to be, again, the biggest leader in Israel, getting them from Egypt, getting them through the desert, across, like escaping the Egyptians, getting them across dry land, even though it was
Through the sea.
a sea. He led them faithfully for a long time. Y'all think that was Moses, or do you guys think that was the Lord?
That was the Lord.
Moses did not want to, he didn't even want to talk to Pharaoh. His original thing, his original calling at the bush was, hey, I want you to go talk to Pharaoh to let my people free. He said yes to one step and walked many steps with the Lord. Moses tended to his garden well because he drew his strength from the Lord, and this transformed his garden immensely. Joshua was a slave. In Numbers, a lot of verses, 13:25 through 33, 14:1 through 12, 10 spies were sent to bring a report of Canaan. Y'all know this story? Maybe. I know a lot of times it's talked about like it's like considered a flannel graph story, like that they talk about kids. You got something? Okay. But spies were sent. 12 total. But 10 of the spies, when sent, came back reporting in fear. They said they saw great things It's a beautiful, lush land. But there were strong, big people there. They said, there's no way we're doing this. And the people, the Israelites, lost their minds. They went crazy and basically revolted against Moses. But Joshua, and I think Caleb was the other guy who went with him, drew their confidence from the Lord. They were normal people sent to do a fairly simple task. Just go look at the land. But knowing that at his weakest point, he could lead to take on, he knew he could lead to take on the biggest problems. Because he came back and said, yes, it's terrifying, but who is the Lord our God? What is the strength he has? Even though he was not a leader at that point, Moses and Aaron were the leaders. He was just a spy. He still led in his garden, the Israelites, because his report and the way he talked to the people gave them the confidence in the Lord. And he would later be the one to lead the attack that brought Jericho down. He tended to his garden well because his trust and confidence was in the Lord, and his garden flourished. What about David? I have been loving David lately. The man after God's own heart. So 1 Samuel 16:11 through 3, the story of trying to find the new king to replace Saul. Saul was told that he would not reign forever, that he was going to not reign for long because he disobeyed the Lord. Y'all probably know the story. Jesse's sons all lined up except for David, and checking out all the sons, none of them were the right one. And so Jesse was asked, hey, is there anybody else? David. When David was anointed, he was the youngest, and youngest also originally translate to the smallest. He was the youngest and smallest, not necessarily a really strong guy. He was assigned as the shepherd of the family at the time, which was considered a job for the low and the unskilled because it was hard and dirty. He was just given the dirty job. He was given the dirty job of the family because no one else wanted to do it. Passed on the youngest. They had a ranking system, right? Hey, the highest son was going to inherit everything. Man, if he's got so many sons, who's David? 1 Samuel 16:7, though, says that the Lord looks at the heart. David was real. David was honest. He was vulnerable. David's lowliness led to him being, as the Israelites, they say he's their best king. David's labeled as Israel's best king. David was willing to step up, show up, and take action. From a little shepherd boy who was sent to Saul's palace and was tried to be murdered a bunch. He about died many times. The old story of David and Goliath. My gosh. Talk about a story of seeing the problem, showing up, stepping up, and taking action. God used David really to take down the whole army, because it started with David taking down Goliath, and the rest fell. That's one boy. One boy took the initiative. And even in his sin, even in his great sin with Bathsheba, which he tried to hide, but later, man, it tormented him. And he repented, came completely clean. Even though we stumble, did God take him back? Was he still Israel's greatest king? Was he still the man after God's own heart? Did he still tend to his garden after? Because the Lord was put first in his life, it was seen. The Lord was put first in David's life, and that is seen. 2 Samuel, which I talked about on group last Sunday, has been a big verse that I found last week. My dad and I were talking about. It says David can. It is said in the. I'm just gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up because I'd like to read it. Second Samuel 7. Let's see, what was the verse? 3, is that right? I don't think that's right. No. Hold on. I don't think that's the right verse. Hold on. God, I think I put in the wrong scripture. What a fumble. Oh no! Wait, I'm in the wrong Samuel. That would be the problem.
First Samuel?
I was in 1 Samuel. I was like, this is not right.
The 3 kind of makes sense.
Let's see. And Nathan said to the king, "Go do all that is in your heart, for the Lord is with you." Nathan told David that he could do all that was on his heart, because all that was on his heart was the Lord's will. All that was on David's heart was tending to his garden. That's like the power of the Lord. When you're following step by step with him, if he's on your heart, blessings are flowing through and out of you. David tended to his garden well because he did it with the Lord, and his garden flourished. Daniel was a simple boy, taken captive, and through faithfulness climbed his way up to high political status and gained favor in the eyes of the king because of his wisdom. Daniel 6:16 through 28. Daniel stood up. The king made a decree that all should bow to a golden statue. Daniel took a stance against that because he knew it was wrong. He knew that is against what the Lord commanded. So he stood up against it, not bending his back, even in facing persecution, being eaten by lions. That's taking a stand. That's taking serious action. What's up?
Wasn't he also there with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego?
Yes.
So he had his community with him during that too.
Yes.
Yeah, Daniel not lying in Shadrach, Abednego.
In the fire.
Wasn't it with the statue too? The golden statue is the
Yes.
the fire, and then the lion's den was.
This is all the same.
That was all.
He
That was.
wouldn't pray to
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
him, and they caught him, and then
That's when he got thrown in line. Yeah.
yeah.
I should have done. I mean, I guess they kind of go together because that's a cool story. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But this taking a stance, this shined, whatever it would be, the Lord's light. His actions spoke words. a quote which I quote this a lot, and yet I never know the quote and never look it up. And it's low-key disappointing because every time I want to say it, I'm like, yeah, I don't remember what it is. But one time someone told me a quote by some dude was always share the gospel, and if you have to, use words.
I like that.
Your actions speak
Louder than words.
louder than words. When we were, Gabe and Ben, we were talking to that lady today.
Mm-hmm.
You remember what she said?
She won't start crying. Well,
She did start crying.
I hate me.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I'm wearing glasses.
You had
right
the,
now.
yeah.
So I'm like, like not saying like, oh, I should not have brought that up. It's like, oh, I feel that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
She-
that's like taking action, just talking to her.
absolutely. And
Carrying
hey,
ourselves with the same swagger most of the guys were.
exactly. She said she noticed we were literally walking down an alleyway, which was kind of suspicious.
Yeah.
But she told us, she's like, I was very surprised that you guys came to talk and pray for me. She said, people in this town don't do that. And I wouldn't expect that from you young men. But the way you held yourself, you weren't walking around all swaggered and everything like the kids of the town do.
I thought she knew we weren't from here.
Yeah.
Mm.
She knew we were different just by our actions, just by our kindness. We probably wouldn't even have to pray. Just being kind, saying hi, giving a warm smile, that's huge. You don't see that too often anymore. That's kind of what Daniel did. When the king arose to see if Daniel had survived, he said, quote, O Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to deliver you from these lions? That is what the king said. His actions showed the king he serves a living God. He serves him continually. And, hey, the next action, Daniel stepped out of the lion's den. That showed God through Daniel. That was a miracle. That should not have happened. Daniel stepping up and being bold showed he had no fear because the Lord was on his side. He tended to his garden well because he trusted the Lord's will over his life. Whatever that will may be. Whether the will was he should die a martyr or whether he survived, he trusted the Lord either way. That shined the Lord's light, and his garden flourished. John the Baptist, he stood up with the Lord. He stood up with what the Lord gave him, and he was faithful. Luke 3:3-36 tells us about John the Baptist. Crazy guy. But John was given a task. Y'all remember what the task was?
Prepare the way.
Prepare the way. So he spoke about Jesus to everyone. Speaking about him, saying, hey, get ready, baptizing them. Many thought he was crazy. Many were angered. Sure, it doesn't seem like the biggest job, just talking about Jesus and dunking people in the water, but he was faithful with the task he was given. He was faithful with his garden. His dedication to his task, to his garden, showed people that he was serious, and many trusted and followed. That commitment was huge. John the Baptist tended to his garden well because he was faithful and gave the Lord his all, even to death. Even his head being chopped off on a silver platter. and his garden flourished and continued after he died. Peter. Gotta love Peter. Peter was a very common, stubborn man, but his perseverance led him to being the rock that the church was built on. Matthew 16:15-20. Peter had great and terrible times. I think we can all think of many times through the Gospels where Peter did great and times where he blew it. But Peter was blessed with a huge garden. He was directly discipled by Jesus and was sent out being told that he would be the foundation of the church. Although he is many times remembered as denying Jesus 3 times. But after Jesus' resurrection, after the denial, he affirmed his love for Jesus and affirmed, that he would tend to Jesus' sheep. Peter would spend the rest of his life not only sharing Jesus, but actively attacking the enemy that pursued against it. Being bold and standing against those who denied Jesus, and at the same time as going against the Sadducees and everything, at that same time, he took the time to care for the vulnerable everywhere he went. Peter tended to his garden well because he showed up from being a fisherman. He showed up, he took responsibility, whether for his bad actions or taking responsibility with what he had been given. And he took action. He showed up and followed Jesus. Even when he fell, he still took responsibility and came back telling Jesus that he loved him. And Peter took action and tended to Jesus' sheep, and his garden flourished. And we're still seeing the effects of it today. And for this last one, to kind of, it's a little bit longer, but to wrap things up, Jesus. I'm going to let you guys go first. What are some ways that Jesus showed how to be a real man?
Better question. What are the things that he did that weren't examples of what a real man is?
Ooh.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, wait, I like both of those. Okay, hold on. Let's do yours first, and then mine.
I can't think of any.
Think of any?
Be like Jesus.
He wept.
And it's not just in these regards, it's everything throughout your life.
Yeah.
He is the perfect example of what a man should be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, to point out just like a few things that he did is to disregard the rest of it.
That is true.
That's at least how my mind thinks of it.
No, honestly, dude, I think you're right.
Thank you.
Of course. Jesus, sorry.
I was just saying from like what you're asking, almost you look at it as how does our culture look at things Jesus did as unmanly?
Ooh.
You know, because it's like,
Fair.
because
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Like everything he did is
Manly.
manly and what we should
It's
be
true.
doing, but
It's against the grain today.
it's exactly.
It's the
They try
facts.
to like emphasize like the love and peace aspects a little too far.
Mhm.
I think a question like I've always thought about is like, you know, why was Jesus a man? You know, he could have been a woman, but like, you know, why did he come in flesh as a man? You know, it's an interesting, because God doesn't really have a gender, you know, like, you know, God, like we say Heavenly Father and stuff like that, but being honest, you know, he could, like, Jesus could have been a woman, but it's just like, you know, why did he choose to be a man? And I think, you know, it's just because, you know, it was almost like, every God, in a sense, obviously wanted to kind of show, kind of like the foundation. Because I mean, Jesus obviously could have been a woman and lived the perfect life as a woman, still done everything the same way. But it's just like, I think that the reason why is just, it's such a great example for us in general. And I'm not saying my thoughts exactly I wanted to, but
You're good.
Yeah, just an interesting thought.
I think something on top of that, looking at two sides of the coin, which we kind of talked about. One, which is kind of the same coin. Sin entered through one man. Man takes responsibility for why sin entered. I think that's probably, I mean, again, I haven't talked to Jesus about it, but I think that's a big aspect, is sin entered the world through one man. It came in through one man, was taken out through one man. Y'all got anything else before I keep going? I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts. Y'all are
Just
freaking
kind of clicking to me that Adam and Jesus' garden are the same.
Yeah.
From Adam, everyone came, so we are all, in a sense, part of his garden. And Jesus being God, we all fall under his veil too.
Dude, that's deep. I've never thought of that.
I just clicked. What was that?
Just
Some car.
I heard a engine.
Big room. Gotta love ADHD. Yes. Jesus made a stance for truth. Jesus made a stance for love. And he did not waver. His love compelled him to show up, take action, no matter what the cost. So let's compare Jesus to our list from earlier. Sorry, hold on. What was number one?
Being alert. Not withholding yourself.
Not withholding yourself. Okay, I'm with that so bad.
You're good. Jesus did not avoid the problem.
The temple. When you flip the table.
Yeah. Ooh. Wait, that's a good one. I didn't think about that.
That also shows patience, because he sat there and braided a whip before going.
I never thought. Someone pointed out, like, they made a joke about it. They were like, I'm in Bill Murray or someone like was joking. They were like, he sat there for hours. Like, could you imagine, like, you're just like, you see him sitting there, just like, start with like one and just like, what is he doing?
It's a lot.
A long time. Everyone else is looking at this guy going like,
what is he doing? I honestly never thought about that. Yeah, that's kind of nuts. That's hilarious. What a process. Okay. Jesus did not avoid the problem. He left heaven and did not withhold himself from the mission he was sent to do. Talk about full commitment. Complete glory and perfection. Leaving that to be torn to shreds and nailed to a cross. And let me tell you, something that hits me, he did not necessarily want to do it. Do y'all remember when he prayed?
Asking if it would be God's will to take the cup from him.
Yeah.
I've butchered that, but
No.
Yeah.
You're right. And this is something I told John about. His next words, I think, are the words that should be on our lips always. Not my will, but your will be done. Jesus knew what was coming. He was terrified. He was terrified.
Sweat and blood.
sweating blood, but he still showed up for it.
This is crazy how like he knew that everything when he came to Earth, he knew what was going to happen to him. He knew it, and he still sacrificed himself for all of us.
That's something.
The craziest thing can go. Like if
I know.
had to do that, I'm like, yeah, I'm going back up.
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
I can't wrap my mind around that.
Mm-hmm. On top of that, like there's an obvious physical part of being crucified, but he knew, knowing it was coming. He spent how many years? 32?
Gosh, yeah, like 32, 33?
Yeah, years building up to that, living with that in his mind, knowing it's coming.
I mean, heck.
Not just that too, then you gotta think of like, he knew from the beginning Judas would betray him.
Yeah.
So he knew pouring into this guy, like, you're like every day, you're like shaking hands and you're like, he's gonna do it.
He's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then, but not just that, but he also knew Peter would betray him.
Yeah.
He knew that all the disciples would flee and leave him. I was like, all these things that get compound on it, you're just like,
and he's still done it.
and yeah, he still chose. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He also didn't rush it.
No.
He let it play out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As it was supposed to. He wasn't just like, Judas, you're gonna betray me, get out.
Let's just get this shown.
Yeah.
Like,
He was patient.
yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, like, yes, Judas did betray him and everything, but he still, like, did he afterwards still fit into him after he came back?
Who, Judas? Judas died.
Judas died, remember?
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
Then went and hung himself at the
That's right.
the
Yep.
field.
Mhm.
After he threw the
It was
coins.
Peter.
Yeah,
Peter.
Peter. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was thinking.
Very different than
He
Judas.
loved him.
Yeah, so yeah, he told Peter, "Hey, you're gonna turn me down 3 times."
Yeah.
And then still after he came back, still he went to Peter.
Yeah.
Because like, hey, it's all right.
Yeah.
I still love you.
Feed my sheep.
You can shoot.
Dude.
Completely irrelevant from that. Just hit me. If you look back at it, like a lot of sins come from pride,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's the main one, and they all sort of branch off. The opposite of that, I feel like patience. Like Jesus, everything he did was with patience.
Yeah.
And to be patient, you have to set your pride aside and just sort of be there. You're not putting yourself in a position to, I don't know, take the glory for yourself. But I just feel like they're contradictory to each other. Pride and
Honestly?
patience.
It's I think that's an amazing point. Because like I think it's overlooked a lot, but when you look at Job, the most innocent, like righteous man, like in God's own words, he struggled with pride, and that was not a sense of him like. That wasn't in the sense like, oh, I'm better than God, I don't need God. It was the sense as like, oh, I'm fine. Like I know I'll be fine, and then all that bad stuff happens to him, and he's suddenly angry and stuff, and then God comes to him eventually through the storm. And it's just like, okay, so since you know everything, how was the earth made? How was the measurements? Who calls on the sun and stuff, you know? And then like, you know, shows him like Leviathan and like behemoth, like creatures beyond human comprehension. It's like, hey, I made that. That's that. I have control over him, you know. And then he's just like, you know, just like oh, I'm stupid.
Honestly, you're right. I like the comparing Jesus to Adam, because you guys know sometimes Jesus is called the new. Is it the new Adam?
Yes.
I think I want to do that. Comparing. What did Jesus have as gain that Adam had as lack that Jesus fulfilled? You know? I'm gonna do that. What was number 2?
Show up.
Show up.
Be present.
Be present.
Be present. Jesus showed up and cared for the vulnerable. He was present in the time with the lepers, with the blind, with the hungry, with the woman who touched the hem of his garment, that even though he was busy, because he was on the way to something else.
Yeah, he was walking away from her and she reached out.
Yeah, wasn't he on the way to someone who was dying?
Yeah. That wasn't the centurion. It was the He was the one they were crying, but it was like the fake cry.
Yeah, the mourners.
Lazarus?
It wasn't
No,
Lazarus.
it wasn't Lazarus.
It was the
He was going
daughter.
to someone's house.
Oh,
Oh.
Jairus' daughter.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that also when they, what was it, 3 men lowered their friend in the
Mm.
ceiling?
No, it was, the
Ooh.
woman was bleeding. The woman, he was going to Jairus' house, and then the woman who
Yeah,
was bleeding for
I
12
just-
years touched his clothes.
Different time.
Different. Okay.
Yeah.
That's another good story.
Yeah,
That's a
very
good story. That shows like the people around you.
Yes.
That's like all the like. Yes, TikTok. There's most of the things I'm bad about TikTok, but the reposts like I repost a lot. Like yes, been
I haven't seen a single one.
really. I'm shocked.
Yikes.
Dang.
Anyway.
Truth.
So like the reposts, like how I see it, like with the people I used to hang out with,
Mm-hmm.
I would never thought they would do that for me.
Yeah.
And now like with you guys, like with the group and everything, I'm not pretty sure. I'm 100% that like y'all would do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what like it shows who you're around. It shows how you act around each other.
Absolutely.
And on top of that, I don't think they'd ever seen Jesus, so it would have
They
been
heard.
nothing more than
Yeah,
Mhm.
they heard.
rumors.
Just like the
and
lady too.
faith.
I mean,
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
All these people were like, yeah, your faith has made you healed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's huge.
I can't believe I haven't seen none of my reposts. That's the most craziest thing. Hold on, let's see what
Okay, where was I at? Where was I at?
Look back to this later.
Yes. Jesus took time to care for those vulnerable people. But guess who else is included?
Us.
Us. We are the vulnerable. We can't take care of ourselves. We're a mess. We can't save ourselves. Jesus showed up and cared for us. That's why he came. Number 3. Should I wait for Will?
I didn't catch
You
you.
know, it's all gonna be in there.
Okay, Will?
Bathroom, I think.
Oh, bathroom. Okay.
Being ambitious about the things God calls you to.
Being ambitious about the thing. Ooh. Jesus was ambitious about the right things. As Ben was talking about, he spent all his life tending to the garden right in front of him. Even from when he was a kid and left his parents to be in the temple to before he ascended to heaven. His whole life on earth, he knew his mission and attended to it. I'd say 100%. His life was the Lord's to use. That's being ambitious. Having your heart, like David, set on the things of the Lord is letting the Lord flow through you. And if you're following your heart, then that's following the Lord. And that's being ambitious about the right things. Number 4,
Take action.
take action. Y'all, Jesus took action.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. Exactly. You see this through not only his ministry, as we talked about, and how he loved people, but in his going to the cross. He took action. We know his love and character through his whole life. He consistently loved, stood for truth, and cared for those around him. And he did not waver in all he did. He took action in his own life and in our lives. We see that in him, and we see the effects that he had on his garden. Number 5. What was number 5?
Seize the day.
Seize the day.
Oh, I
Seize
wrote down
the
take
day.
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem. Jesus sees each day. No time was wasted from change in his time on earth. People were touched, healed, prayed for, seen, and the truth and love was seen through it. He used all his time on earth, again, for the Lord, and he seized each moment. I bet there are thousands, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, so many stories that are not in our Bible of amazing times, other things the Lord did. I mean, what we have in the 4 Gospels, many of it's repeated, but I'm confident that's not everything that the Lord did.
Doesn't John say there wouldn't be enough pages to write
Yeah.
down? Is it John?
That's just the ones that
I think
they
you're right.
witnessed, isn't it?
No, I mean, they said they saw even more. I think in the end of John, it's just like these are just some to give you like a somewhat understanding.
Yeah. Man, if we see from those some that we have his character, we know he did more. We know he took the time. He seized each moment. Because the vulnerable in his garden needed each moment. Number 6.
Take care of yourself before taking care of others.
Jesus cared for himself. Jesus spent much time with the Lord in prayer and in dedication. We could look at his time in the wilderness, in which his time with the Lord, what was it, 40 days?
Mm-hmm.
Led to him prevailing against temptation. His time with the Lord led to people being healed and touched and fed and seen. His time with the Lord led him to the cross. That wraps up my babbling, but I got a few questions for y'all to sit and go through, just for a little bit of time. Y'all don't gotta be super long. As talked about before, I want you guys to look at your gardens. What and or who has God put in your gardens? College group, your family, your friends, your girlfriends, your work, the people in your town, the people of Sanford that we talked to today.
Mm-hmm.
Those are people outside of our garden that really we touched today. Because, I mean, hey, this could be our garden while we're here. Who are the vulnerable in your garden that you need to watch over? What are the gardens that you need to keep? Let's see the other questions. How can you be more of the man God wants you to be? How do you need to change? What steps do you need to take in walking side by side with the Lord? If you guys, I'll send this in the group chat if you guys want to look over it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. But I think I got 2 more questions. Wait, let's see. Okay. Kind of going along with it. Who is the man that your garden needs? What are some specific areas that you know that the vulnerable people of your garden need you to step up and attend to? And then last, who is the man that the world needs? I will send this to the group chat. Actually, I'm gonna send screenshots because I don't want to spoil tomorrow.
I was gonna say, this one tomorrow, I'm gonna be upset because we're gonna be on the beach.
Let me try to.
Which I even, I even just told Elle, like, yeah, we're gonna do our session on the beach, which I thought was kind of really neat.
Heck yeah,
I thought it was nifty.
Yeah.
dude! I'm actually really pumped for that.
I like that.
That's just a funnier word for neat.
Because, like, we're gonna be in the middle of the open with people, like, I'm not sure if people are gonna be there, but walking by us.
Yeah.
And someone, I'm not saying some, or if somebody stop and listen, or like stop right near and just like eavesdrop on it.
Yeah,
Listen.
that's awesome.
So I was thinking that was neat.
Yeah.
Or nifty.
Nifty.
That's
Wait.
Big in the 40s.
That's neat.
Mr. Rogers, doesn't he say that?
Maybe. I've never really watched him.
What?
Bit, sometimes.
I just want to say that the actions speak louder. I mean, the words, which there are words being spoken, but it's the action of doing it in public.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a private or like a shameless thing. That it's go out there and be like, no, this is what we believe. This is what we're doing, and not shy away from the world because of that. So it's funny. I don't feel like it, but like you like a group, and you like pray before you eat at some like restaurant, and like every once in a while there'll be some lady or old lady or like someone come and goes, oh, I'm so glad to see people praying still. It's always fun. It's like she's like, I want to eat my food.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, but it's like people do notice, and most probably don't come up to you, but just little things like that are important.
I can't remember this happened. This happened before I met Ella. I think I was still with my ex. We went to her church, and I think it was the last time I went to her church. That's the sad part. There was an old lady there. I think she was like the first time being there, and she grabbed my back. She said, "It's so great to see a young couple going to church together." Next week broke up, but still.
Oh.
You're rough, but I still just think about
It's
that.
getting 10.
And especially like I think me and Ella had this happen to us too. We're sitting there waiting for a table, and what was it? I think it was a random lady again. Sure said, "It's so great to see a couple being open. Like, oh, we're a couple and straight in 2026."
What?
I love old ladies.
It was
That's
so like
crazy.
it caught me off guard. I just looked at her like, "Yeah, you don't see that often." She was like,
Wrong though.
No shit.
Everyone,
Yeah.
everyone are we
And-
don't want to put labels on it,
"Yeah."
or they're just gay.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Oh, that's Hunter.
I was so confused when my phone was blowing up.
My phone did not.
Oh my
do
My
goodness.
fault.
Holy crap.
Huh.
That was unnecessary.
I just sent you guys everything, but the questions are like the little
Just for
screenshot.
sure.
Yes. One more thing I forgot to mention. One huge step to keep in mind in keeping your garden is knowing your influence. Something you have to know is the things you say, the things you do, all have an influence, whether you know it or not. Yo, I got a little sister.
That's right. Wait, do you?
Yeah, I do.
That's right.
I got a handful of siblings, but my little sister,
I'm not saying a thing.
What, Zoe?
yeah.
What about her?
Oh,
No, I'm talking to Ben.
I was asking Gabe if his sisters were single earlier.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're too old for you.
no, but I got a little sister, and I influence her. Yo, I'm the big brother she's followed. And something I thought was, honestly, it got me a little teared up later. Zoe, this past, I guess, few months, she's taken her summer. She's always been writing music, but her summer has been, she started a YouTube channel, has been posting music and like Christian related shorts that she posts everywhere. And I told John about it, and he like looked at one of the videos, and I don't remember what she said, but he said, "Yup, that's your sister." He said that she's been influenced by you. Maybe I didn't know that growing up. There were times when I didn't. I just did my due. But we have an influence always. And you're not going to know. You're not going to know who you're influencing.
Yeah, that's true. Even
sorry, go ahead.
Even if I got nieces and nephews,
Mm-hmm.
but like even older people.
Yeah.
Like you influence everybody. Not
The lady
just
we
you
talked to
guys.
today.
Deborah.
Deborah.
I thought her name was Debbie low-key, but yeah, Deborah.
Well, I mean, Debbie's a,
It's close.
Debbie's a nickname for Deborah.
There are probably a handful of people that look at each one of you just at college group. And you influence people.
Like that black guy, Walmart.
Yeah.
Huh?
This guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Samuel
I was
Adams?
So lost.
The,
Yeah.
the what guy?
Yes.
The guy y'all
Samuel
talked to
Adams?
over,
Walmart.
Oh,
pastor?
yeah, that guy.
No, but there's people at group that I'm sure look up to each one of you. Man, whether it's something you say about your walk, something you say in group, and they're like, Gabe's a good influence. Ethan is a good influence. Ben's a good influence. Will is a good influence. A quote, my church will do random quotes, but a quote that hit me: the leader who changed your life probably had no idea they were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know your influence and let that curate how you act, how you hold yourself. Because remember, going back, your garden will know and trust you based on you. It's your garden's watching your influence. If you're leading, they're looking up to you, whether you know it or not. So you have to know you have an influence everywhere you go, in all things you do. And man, looking at scripture, all things you do should be for the Lord and should glorify Him. And let me tell you, people are going to see that. They will take note. Y'all got the questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all cool if we wrap it up here? I'll let you guys sit for a little bit, and I'm going to go start dinner?
Yeah.
Sweet.